If somebody came and told me, Uguti, foreign nationals are actually trying to outnumber and conquer us, I'd actually believe that. So this past Friday, I was admitted at a public hospital. I was actually going to give birth there. So when I got there, okay, fine, my water had broken, but then I was not yet in labor. So what they do is they'll put you on it's a room, like a kind of like a waiting room where they assess you and make sure what you're right. And then the moment your contractions start getting closer, they'll move you to a separate ward or a separate room where you can give birth privately. So in these waiting rooms, you'll find Uguti, there's like 3 to 4 beds. So when I get into this waiting room, sharp, there's two other ladies there. There's 3 beds in the room. And then when I get there, both the ladies are foreign nationals. So I get there, I sit there, and then they start speaking in Isishona. And for some reason, I felt engati, I was lost. I felt as if I traveled from South Africa to go to Zimbabwe to give birth, because I felt as if I was in a different planet or a different country. I felt lost in my own country because there were two women there speaking their own language, and I felt ingati I didn't belong. So cool. Fast forward, a day later, I give birth. It's on a Friday morning. After I've given birth, remember, I'm in the labor ward. So now they have to move me to the postnatal ward. They can't. Imibhede igcwele ama-foreign nationals. Okay, fine. The labor ward until they were able to make some space for me in the postnatal ward. So I go into the postnatal ward. Still, it's a big room, 3 beds. I go in there. There are other two ladies, foreign nationals. I still feel lost. Ukuthi kanti ngikuphila. They are speaking in Sishona. They are, I buy ikhulumela nje. And I still feel as if I left South Africa to go and give birth in Zimbabwe. So I'm trying to ask myself, ukuthi, how often do these people give birth? Because we know bayazala. And I'm trying to understand what is the end game, yalukuzala. Because already they outnumber us ngokuzala, Tina South Africans. I feel like for every single South African giving birth, there are 2 or 3 Zimbabweans giving birth. So in 10 years to come, bayobe beslula, they are going to outnumber us. And then what happens? Are they going to outnumber and conquer us in our own country? So that is like my concern. And I'm trying to understand, what is the end game yalukuzala bengaqedi? Are they trying to outnumber us? Are they trying to outnumber and conquer us in our own country? Because it feels like that is where it's going. Because already mongena in a public institution utu uyozala, you find Uguti, there's more of them giving birth konalapo. So what's the end game? No, guys. There's just something sinister about this entire thing. So angithi mabahambe because angibathandi or whatever, but then this is way too much. This is way too much. Bayazala labantu. Bayazala.
So the reality is finally sinking in, particularly to middle class South Africans who, for some reason, will take the side of the politicians and claim that, oh, we are being xenophobic and we must stop xenophobia because they are not being affected by these things directly. Because they are being sheltered, because they have a little bit of financial privilege. They get to be sheltered from what everybody else in the country is experiencing. Everybody that is poor is experiencing this thing firsthand. The problems that foreigners are causing in terms of South Africans being able to access their basic needs from the public sector. This is a big problem. I like what somebody said on social media. His name is So, and he said something really powerful that resonated with me, and I wanted to share it with you guys. He said, South Africans living in townships complain about crimes committed by illegals. SA middle class living in gated communities screams xenophobia. Public healthcare users complain about the large influx of immigrants in public hospitals. SA middle class with access to private healthcare screams xenophobia. Entry-level employees complain about foreign nationals taking their jobs due to cheap labor. SA middle class working in corporate screams xenophobia. You guys are insufferable, man. So true, because we got these clever blacks. I care about ruteileng ba ratang sekgowa too much. Ba buang sekgowa wire 24/7. Ba twangang, huh? They like to have drinks with their white friends where they are the token blacks. They love that type of situation, not just blacks, but even Makalate, Ma India, Tswana fela, ba rata ba di tokens amongst the white community, right? Sipping on their drinks, lebona, kotashes, feeling sophisticated, talking down on black people, talking about, oh, it's so xenophobic, it's because they're not educated. Yes, they just need more education. We must love one another. Oh, okay. Since rona re di bari, akere ha re tsebe, we must love one another, we must come together. Let's look at how first world countries are dealing with this thing. In first world countries, bakala dog, they're crying over the same thing. Bonabari breaking. Poland announces it's sending the Polish army to the country's borders with Germany and Lithuania in order to stop illegal migrants from crossing into Poland. Poland is not playing. If you look at Ireland, Ireland is doing something similar, Bona. They're not playing. They're done with this nonsense. Yeah, illegal immigrants coming into the country, shifting the culture completely. Shifting the culture. People are tired of this nonsense. Batho ba kgathetse nonsense ena, guys. And Kav, Bare, on the other side, Dutch parliament has passed the strongest asylum policy the nation has ever seen. Asylum seekers will no longer be allowed to get permanent residency. Leftist NGOs will be punished by law for aiding the illegal invasions. Ke mo hape, there's a common thread, yeah, the NGO that are supporting these illegal invasions in so many different countries, including South Africa. So the question is, who is funding these NGOs and what is the agenda? Why are countries around the world simultaneously being infiltrated and invaded by these invaders, these migrants that are coming in under this false pretense of asylum seeking, when in reality there's something more sinister going on and people are waking up to it. People are starting to see, man, things are not adding up here. Things are not adding up. So as you can see, this is a crisis globally. So you cannot say South Africans are xenophobic when we say that we want to protect our borders and that we need to kick these people out because they are trying to reap where they did not sow. This is a global problem. It's not unique fella to South Africa. So skat like the narrative tsa hao tsa hore eng South Africa ba xenophobic. It's not our responsibility to take care of the whole of Africa. You guys must figure things out in your own countries. We don't have the capacity to deal with taba tsa lona kaofela. It's too much. Everywhere you go around the world, people are experiencing this immigration problem. And countries are making strong laws against this nonsense because they've heard the cries and the complaints of their peoples and they're saying, okay, it's time for us to do something about it now. We must address this thing. We cannot continue to allow it to fester the way that it's festering in our country. But Rona, South Africa, we are expected to carry the burden of the entire continent, even though we don't have the capacity to. Look, first world countries are saying, this is too much, enough is enough. The Netherlands here finally look, but the Netherlands is finally waking up, which people have been crying and complaining about this. America is experiencing a similar thing. I'm showing you examples of countries that are more developed that have a bigger budget. If Bona Balla, and they're saying, who are we South Africans to think we can play hero for the whole African continent? And not just Africa, we got but people from Batuba, Pakistan, India, Hohle. Bangladesh, I mean, re kopana kaela batho ba Bangladesh, nana fela. Look how far that place is. Mara ba tletse mona South Africa. They're trying to tell us what to do. They're controlling these spaza shops tsa rona. It's become their industry now. Informal sector ya rona ya business e control ke bona. And they're heavily armed. Who's giving them access to these weapons? Ba sebetsa le maponesa hape. The police are protecting them. This is what happens when you have lawlessness in your country. But South Africa, because first world countries, bona how they're responding. People have been complaining and fighting about illegal immigrants coming and contaminating their cultures. And that's what we're seeing now in South Africa. Same thing is happening. So to rise up. I'm talking about every man, woman, and child, including the people in the middle class that are protected from these things. These things are not far from you. You guys are going to feel the pinch. You're going to feel the pressure. Damn, we don't have enough resources to take care of all of these people. And South Africa, keep blocking foreigners from entering hospitals and schools and every public sector. They must go to private sectors where these middle class people and upper class people are hiding so they can experience what all of us are experiencing. Cover what first world countries are doing. Bona America, bona how they're dealing with this.
Alien costs American taxpayers an estimated $70,000. That's each. $70,000. I think that number is even low. If you care about balancing the budget, the single most impactful step we can take is to fully reverse the Biden migration invasion. One of the worst invasions we've ever had. We've never had an invasion like this. We've had invasions, but we've taken care of them. We've never had an invasion like this, and it's with us. And we have some very bad people out there looking to do big harm. That's why the one big, beautiful bill includes.
Trump is not even mincing words. He's calling it an invasion. There's no such thing as immigration anymore. We must call it what it is. Countries are being invaded by these aliens that are coming in to try to change the culture, that are bringing their cultures. They're not assimilating the culture of the indigenous people that live there. They're not even respectful of the indigenous people that live there. We know firsthand as South Africans how disrespectful these people are, because we're dealing with Somalians and Ethiopians and Pakistanis that bring their religion and all their different beliefs to our country, and they want to force us to accept that that's how they live when they're in our country, most of them illegally. Nonsense. It's an invasion, and we need our military to step in and stop it. If they will not do it, we will do it ourselves as the citizens. And you can cry xenophobia all you want, but this is what first world countries are crying about. The same thing South Africans are crying about. So
includes funding for 3,000 new Border Patrol officers and 10,000 new ICE agents. And I've gotten to know the Border Patrol and ICE very well. Unlike Kamala, she was the border czar, but she never saw the border. She never made one phone call. She was some border czar. She would have been some president. Probably would have been slightly better than Biden, though.
South Africa, we're already at this point. If you saw what happened at the Durban hospital, we're already at this point now. Look at the audacity of these. I mean, this is in America. The audacity of these immigrants to try to fight for their rights in a foreign country. They won't stand up to their own governments to fight, but they want to go to foreign countries and throw their weight around and try to act like they're the ones running the country, that they're in charge. These people are not okay in the heads. In fact, and countries like America and other first world countries, go Europe, they're not allowing it. So why but South Africa, with economy that's actually weaker than all of these other countries, why should we allow into our country and do as they please? If you want to allow the middle class South Africans, the country is going. You're defending them, you're on their side. Are you guys alone?
We're at a distance. guys? Look at him. Look at him. You guys are kings.
That's fine. That's fine. You guys can record.
Hey, mi troca se lo puede enseñar a las de la comida, ¿no? Es la de México. Vaya con Dios, ahora que no podemos hacer nada. Celular, por favor. ¿Cuál es su nombre, güey? ¿Cuál es? ¿Cuál es su nombre, güey? Pedro Guevara. Pedro Guevara. Número de teléfono. Name and badge. What's his name? Name and badge or teléfono, jefe. This way. Otherwise. Oh my God. I'm federally charged. Private property. No, you guys. Treat him like this. This guy's cool. He wasn't resisting at all. He's not resisting. Oh, this guy's got a fucking kafia. Treat him like he's not a human.
Yeah, that's not cool. Come on now. You know he wasn't resisting. He was saying he just wanted to. He just wanted to go to his car. He just wanted to go to his car and get his thing to work.
¿Cuál es?
In total,
Sorry,
the
guys.
average illegal alien costs American taxpayers an
That was a
estimated
mistake.
$70,000
Anyway, let's continue.
each. 70.
Let's finish the video.
Okay, little boys. You. Are you ready for the court martial? Are you, in particular?
Got nothing else to do, man. 6-7 years in the desert. Got shit to do now. You guys have his name here.
I have his name, but not his number. You showed him your ID.
You even heard that person saying, "Oh, but they showed ID. They did that. Nobody cares. People are trying to fight to protect their cultures. They're trying to protect their national identities. They're trying to stop this infiltration. I don't know. Have you guys seen how Europe looks? Europe does no longer looks like Europe. Europe has been completely infiltrated. It's not the same place anymore. So I could say when you guys are like, oh no, it's xenophobia. Xenophobia young. Xenophobia masepa. Do you want our country to turn into a dump? Last video, one of the last videos I made, I showed you what Nigeria looks like, where people are back strateing, but back close to the airport. So you're a visitor, you step into the country and you're greeted by this warm smell masepa. People that love themselves and love their countries, they fight to protect their national identity. They fight to protect their culture. They don't just allow random people to come into the country and do as they please, because very soon you're going to get outnumbered. Just like that lady said in my first video, you will be outnumbered, and your country, you will not recognize it anymore. The culture is going to shift to something different. And that lady said something very alarming. She said, the way that foreigners are giving birth in the country, I guess they've been given a free license to come into the country. They've been invited specifically for this purpose, to come into the country to give birth to their children so that they can attain South African citizenship. Before long, we're going to be outnumbered. And I honestly, personally, I really believe that we are outnumbered by foreigners. Which means that even through the democratic elections, you will not be saved. Nothing can save you, because foreigners are going to hold a majority and they're going to vote in line with this GNU government that is behind the syndicate of bringing them into the country to steal votes away from the indigenous people so that we lose power. And once we lose that democratic power in the country's gone. We're a minority group now. We no longer matter. Our voice doesn't matter. Our opinions don't matter. ANC, the GNU is going to start catering, or not even start, they're already catering to foreign nationals, because those are the new citizens. The children that are being born right now from foreigners, those are the tomorrow citizens, unless we do something about it. And the thing that we have to do has to be drastic and it has to be violent. Guys, this peaceful revolution that we've been trying to get away with for the longest time, stop being cowards. It's time right now to step up. Mari arote. There's no other way around it. To keep trying to run away is not the solution. It's not going to bring us to the point that we need to come to as a nation where we are protecting our indigenous languages and cultures. We are losing those every single month. And we're being replaced, like I've been saying. But this is what other countries are doing. They're standing up and making legislation and laws that don't allow them to be invaded. Because it's an invasion for you to have that many people coming into your country, particularly when they're men, because men are coming there to create babies in your society. And with us, it's even worse. The men are coming here to marry into our, and hey, Bojolofina, Barabaizi, Bojolofina, they're setting us back because they're allowing these guys free access into our country through Bana. And that thing, Yaubali Bana, is more difficult to deal with because Wano now is going to have South African citizenship. And anything we do is going to seem as if we're being cruel towards Wanao. So Bojolofina, they've got us in a bind that they don't even fully understand, just for some quick change, just for some money, just so they can buy some Louis Vuitton. They've sold out the country just so they can experience soft life. No national pride, an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace, Bojolofina, what they've done to destroy this country and allow these people in. Got investment, the young one. You know how hard it is to get rid of those kids in future now. So even if we work extra hard right now to get rid of the grown-ups, how are we going to deal with the children? Because that's our next biggest problem. How are we going to deal with these kids, guys? I hope you guys understand how serious the situation is, and that the fact for us to solve this situation is going to require ruthlessness. You saw what the American military is doing there. They're not playing games. People are talking about, oh, but they have their ID. They don't care. They've been given strict instructions to deal with these foreigners because it's an invasion. That means you must deal with it in a military way. You cannot deal with it with your emotions and your feelings and your sympathies towards these people. The more you sympathize with these people, the harder it's going to be for you to eradicate the problem. And that's what they're using to manipulate you. They want you to feel sorry for them so that you don't do what you're supposed to do for your country, to protect your people. And before long, they're going to be running the show in your country. Nobody wants that. So we must learn from what the other countries are doing. Countries that have more money than us are saying, we can't allow these people to keep coming into our country to invade. We must take a stand and do something about it, or else we will not have a country to give to our children to inherit. Stop playing. This thing is serious. The military should be involved. But unfortunately, South Africa, Mzansi, we don't get that support, which means we must stand up for ourselves to fight for our nation. Nobody's going to do it for us. As the people, we must step out and defend this land. I don't know if you guys know a guy called Kurt Kaz.
Look at this. Look at the fucking state of the city. This is Rome, guys.
Like the Casbah.
Just to give some context, man, this guy, he travels around the world making content. What is interesting about this video that went viral is that he went to go visit Rome. And Rome has been invaded. Like many European countries, they've been completely invaded by foreigners who have completely changed culture, Rome, and brought the culture of where they're from. The question is, why are NGOs sponsoring this invasion? Who is behind these NGOs? What's the agenda? Is it to destroy culture all around the globe, to bring in globalization so that people are more accepting of the one world government and new world order? That's what I suspect, because there's nothing else makes sense. Why would you sponsor the invasion of these countries, of many countries, to cause instability? I can only think of one reason, and that's for the globalist agenda, to destabilize these countries so that it's easier for there to be one controlling central power that runs and rules over everything. So these NGOs and NPOs, we know that these are parallel governments that are funded and sponsored to destabilize countries. They're trying to basically run a coup d'etat and dethrone the governments that are in charge of these countries and undermine them. So Trav, this guy, he's a South African guy. He travels all around the world making content. He went to Rome. I want you to look at the state of Rome because of illegal immigrants and just asylum seekers and just the invasion of foreigners in general. South Africa, we don't want to become like this. Watch this.
Look at this. Look at the fucking state of the city. This is Rome, guys.
Like the Casbah.
This looks like in Bangladesh or something. Look at this, guys. Look at the state of this place. Look at this, guys. This is Rome. This is Europe. Does this look like Europe to you? I don't see a single Italian here, guys. I am more Italian than any of these people. Look at this.
If you're South African, think about it. Where have we seen this before? You go to any CBD in South Africa and it's been completely taken over by foreigners. Nigerians, Zimbabweans, Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, Somalians, Ethiopians, Congolese, Zambians, Malawians, Mozambicans. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is what you now see when you walk around in South Africa. You will not find a single South African. There are entire neighborhoods that have been taken over by foreigners that don't even allow other people to live in them. People are making their own mini oranias around South Africa. And this is a dangerous situation that the government is sponsoring or is being given instructions to allow to happen. Clearly, NGOs around the world are being sponsored by the same people and pushing the same globalist agenda. South Africa, wake up. This is happening everywhere all over the world.
Occhio amico mio, perché noi qua non siamo ben visti, quindi stiamo sempre attenti, occhi aperti.
Sì.
È una strada molto pericolosa dove spacciano e vendono roba falsa.
Saying that the street is dangerous.
No, sono pericolosissimi.
Sì. Perché?
Perché hanno i coltelli tutti quanti, i maceti. Con i
Maceti?
Sì, loro.
Che no.
Tutti.
Look at all these
non
guys.
fatti vedere troppo qua. Una telecamera, amico mio.
Yeah. Look at all the shits on the floor. And here they are, just loitering.
Molto pericolosi, no? Non fanno niente.
Very dangerous, he's saying.
Se passo là io adesso, sono un centinaio, mi caricano, sicuro, sicuro.
You guys want South Africa to become like that? It already is. And we're trying to work hard to reverse all of this nonsense. Like I said, first world countries are taking a stand and they're using their militaries to fight. We don't have a military, so we, the people, the citizens, must fight. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Let's please take this thing seriously, or else the country will be gone before we know it. Let's fight for our country and get rid of these, not just illegal foreigners. All of them must leave because NGOs are trying to sponsor an invasion globally and to strip away culture and national identity. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you. Shap shap.